Hello everyone, it's Mirak here. Today is part 3 of Rastakhan Rumble card review. Alright, we're going to be talking about 15 cards tonight. So we're going to be starting out with quite an interesting card. It's a neutral, so all classes can play with it. It's an interesting concept. And here it is. Hakar, the Soul Flare. 10 mana, 9 attack, and 6 health. Really pricey. But when this dies, shuffle a corrupted blood into each player's deck. And a corrupted blood does 3 damage once you draw it. So after you draw this, shuffle 2 copies of this into your deck. Some developers were saying that you're not gonna die from fatigue damage. So that's quite interesting. Because I originally thought if you ran out of cards, or your opponent ran out of cards that there's a corrupted blood as their last card, they would keep drawing it until they die. That's not the case at all. You draw it, take the damage, then those 2 copies go into your deck. It's really interesting. I mean, you as the player or even the opponent can choose to play, well, the opponent or you would have to be a paladin to play Prince Liam. So remember how Prince Liam works from the Witchwood. Transform all 1-cost cards, corrupted blood, for example, in your deck. They turn into legendary minions. That's pretty cool. Or you can be quite a sneaky devil and play Skulking Geist. As remember, if you are the opponent, play Skulking Geist as your battle cry, it destroys all 1-cost spells. Corrupted Blood is the example here, in both hands and decks. You can do 1 or 2 things. I mean, Prince Liam is kind of the more meme way to deal with the Corrupted Bloods, because as the paladin, you have to keep drawing the Corrupted Bloods and keep getting copies into your deck. So that's kind of not necessarily a good thing, but it's doable. The more realistic option is to put Skulking Geist into your deck to counter Hakar, which I can see that happening more often than people playing Prince Liam, for example. So moving on from this quite interesting card to a warrior legendary called War Master Voon. 4 mana, 4/3. Don't play this because of those weak stats, but play for the battle cry. Copy all dragons in your hand, so that's pretty strong. If there is more dragons being introduced in this expansion. So far I don't think there has been. But this next card I'm gonna talk about will synergize with this quite well, if I do say myself. And it is Fire Tree Witch Doctor. 2 mana, 2/2, a neutral, and it's a rare, so it's quite reasonable. Battle cry. If you're holding a dragon, discover a spell. But there you go. Dragons in Warrior isn't really a new thing, but it is being reintroduced from being dormant in standard for quite a while. I think before there was a standard format, this was kind of a thing. A dragon warrior. Maybe we'll see how it suits. If it's really good, it suits out to be a good thing. This is gonna be a good card. A priest is quite ridiculous. This is quite ridiculous because you're discovering the spell. And this in wild will be insane. A lot of good value. And speaking about priest, we have the Grave Horror, a priest card that's a rare for 12 mana, 7 attack, 8 health. Think of this as a class specific giant or even arcane giant from Karzhan. Something like that. This has taunt, which is really good. Costs 1 less for each spell you cast this game, so basically it is an arcane giant that has 1 less attack and has taunt. So it's just a better version of arcane giant. There you go. I think this is really good. For priest, it's really good. Because they don't have much quote-unquote survivability. So we'll see how it goes. And moving on to Rogue, we have Walk the Plank, which is a common card for 4 mana. Destroy an undamaged minion. That's pretty cool. This kind of works on the same mindset as Backstab, instead of dealing 2 damage. And this costing... what is it? Yeah, Backstab is free. So, pay the 4 extra mana and destroy an undamaged minion. That's pretty strong, I would say. And I don't think Rogue really has that much destroying cards besides the Vilespine Slayer, of course. So yeah, this will be quite good. Maybe in more of a deck based around the Gadgetzan Auctioneer. Something like that. It would fit nicely in a Miracle style deck. So other than that, I think I can see this in more of a mid-range kind of deck as well. Maybe even the Pirate Rogue everyone is talking about. It's literally Walking the Plank is a pirate related thing, so fits perfectly. I think it adds a little bit survivability onto the priest rogue archetype, so to speak. So this is quite good. Now another rogue card, I think you will like this one, called Gurubashi Hypeman. An epic 7 mana 5/7 battlecry. Discover a 1/1 copy of a battlecry minion. It costs 1. I really like this. It's basically a epic version of the Shaman Legendary Grumble, but just more of a simmered down version. So it's nice. I like it. It's kind of interesting that this is not a pirate, but Still quite strong. It's a good card. Being an epic is quite nice. And the final rogue card I'll be discussing today is the legendary Loa for this class, Grawl the Shark. Hashtag Shark Team for the win. 5 mana 2/2. It's kinda weak, but Battle Cry. Eat a minion in your deck and gain its stance. Death Rattle. Add it to your hand. It's interesting. I don't think the word eat has been on a card in the history of Hearthstone, so it's interesting. I really like it. I like it a lot. I mean, you want to have quite decent statted minions. Maybe you would want at least a 3/3 minion. Things like, what do you call it? It's a lot of examples. I can't really list them. A good example right now. But Edwin would be a bad example. But gives the opponent information, hey, Shark ate the Edwin. And when the shark dies, it puts Edwin into your hand. So there's that. And since this is a death rattle, there's a decent amount of death rattle synergy in Rogue. So this is really exciting for what people might come up with. So yeah, for sure. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. Anyway, moving on to another legendary or paladin called High Priest Thakal. Battlecry. Convert all but one of your hero's health into armor. 3 mana, 3 attack, 4 health. So we're not really looking at the stats. It's interesting. I mean on the outside, it does not look like a good card. But think about all of the synergies, all the other synergies this can enable. Especially the heal paladin can really be enabled. So, is this a good card? I think it really is. It opens up the opportunity for the archetype. So it's good. It's really exciting. As well as the shark card I just talked about. It's really good. I like it a lot. So moving on to some neutral cards. Starting out with a common called Amani Warbear. 7 mana, common like I said. 5 attack, 7 health. Obviously a beast, and it has rush and taunt. So I don't think there has been a beast that has taunt with rush. So it's really good. Play this out on turn 7. You can kill something like a Tar Creeper. Only lose 3 health. And it survives. You know what? This can really counter the last push of an aggro archetype. So turn 7, you're usually at a pretty low health or even dead against an aggro deck. So if we do survive that aggro onslaught, this can soak up some damage, so you're not dead. Other than that, I like it. It's not bad. I mean, this might even see some play in Druid, but immediately I thought of Hunter with Katharina. And can this card really fit in that deck right now? I mean, not really, but maybe. Maybe. I mean, it's still good to have this be pulled out by Katharina. But just playing this from your hand in any kind of deck is nice. It's really well made. It's a common too, so it's really accessible to the free-to-play player. Make them feel good about the game. It's exciting. I mean, I'm saying it's exciting about a lot of these cards, but introducing a new type of mechanic is a lot of fun. So moving on to another 7 mana common Rebel Bouncer. Also a taunt. Costs 1 less for each enemy minion to attack 7 health. So this is really good against, say, what comes to mind right away is even Shaman or Zoo. That's really swarming. So if you think you're facing an aggro deck, try to mulligan for the Bouncer. It's good. It's really good. It's exciting. I mean, I'll say it again, but it is. It counters aggro decks pretty well, if I say so myself. So moving on to yet another common neutral. 1 mana Serenite Taskmaster. Death Rattle. Summon a 0/3 free agent with taunt for your opponent to attack and 3 health. So immediately, this is good value for, say, the arena. I mean, I don't think this will be seeing much play in Constructed, but this is really a good arena card. It kind of sticks on the board. Players on turn 1. Your opponent shouldn't really be able to deal with this. And if they do, they get a taunt. So it's nice. It's really nice, actually. So moving on to an epic called Masked Contender. 3 mana 2/4. I think that is reasonably priced. Reasonably priced. As the battle cry. If you control a secret, play a secret from your deck. So if you're playing, say, Secret Hunter, for example, you play a secret, next turn you play this, you automatically play another secret from your deck, so it's really good. I like it a lot. For Arena, it's good. Constructed, it's really good, because it plays a card from your deck which thins out your deck. So you have a better chance to draw better things on the following turns. So this being an epic is reasonable. So moving on to a mage card, the only one I will be discussing during this video is called Blast Wave. 5 mana epic, deal 2 damage to all minions. Overkill. Add a random mage spell to your hand. I was thinking on the cover, this looks quite expensive, but realistically, if you're facing, say, a odd paladin, you're basically killing off the board that they have, and if you do, and I'm assuming that each one that dies adds a random spell to your hand, which you're really gonna worry about hand maintenance. And if you have a reasonably sized hand, say after you play this, you have like 2, 3, or even 4 cards, and your paladin, say, has about 5 cards on board, you get 5 random mage spells. That's crazy. I like this a lot. I really like this. And I'm liking a lot of these cards revealed in this video. It's really exciting. I think that's about the 6th time I said that so far. But yeah, it's really good. I think this will be really good in, say, a control mage deck. I'm thinking maybe a Murloc mage wouldn't want to have this card, but moving on to a hunter card, a spell, mind you, called Revenge of the Wild. 2 mana rare. Summon your beasts that died this turn. That's interesting. I say so. This has really some potential for some crazy turns. Reviving the Unleash the Hounds, Hyena, combo. Wow. You're playing, say, against a paladin, and they have a board full of Silverhead recruits. Play Unleash the Hounds, trade everything off, play this, and the same hounds can go face. It's bonkers. I think this card will definitely see some play. Mid-range hunter will fall in love with this card. So it's powerful. I'm really surprised it's not an epic, because that's really strong. Enough talking about this card. Now the last card we'll be discussing is for Shaman, and you'll recognize this type of card from, I think it was Old Gods, or was it Mean Streets of Gadgerzan? I believe it was Mean Streets where we saw this type of card, and it is a weapon. Lick'em. I love that name. So this has 2 attack where you have overloaded mana crystals. So this really reminds me of that 1 mana weapon that if you had spell power on board, you gain, or this weapon gains 2 attack. This is really a nod to that card, which costs 1 more, and instead of spell power, it is overloaded mana crystals. So you're basically being rewarded for overloading or locking up your mana crystals. And I just gotta say, I love the name of this card. Lickum. As a toad carved out of wood on a staff. It's interesting. And it's a rare too. So, if I recall, the weapon I was talking about, called Spirit Claws, was a common, or was, I think it was a rare. Come to think about it. So let me know in the comments below what you remember about said card. Alright, this is the last card in the 3rd part of this review. And on that note, thank you for watching. Look forward to even more card reveals soon. So if you like this video and you like to see and support my YouTube channel, don't forget to click on that little subscribe button. And if you want immediate notifications as soon as I upload a video, you can click on that little bell next to the subscribe button. If you like what you see, like it. If you want to leave a comment below, go ahead and do so. Let me know what I can improve on in these videos. Until then, see you next time.